Webb has now won 2 rounds in a row. Orlando 1 and 2. He won both of them. And the last time that he won 2 rounds in a row was 2019. He won rounds 3 and 4 and rounds 6 and 7. And guess what? He ended up winning the championship that year. So now that he's won 2 rounds this year, am I saying that he's going to win the championship? No. But I'm saying that he now has a lot of confidence. And if I was another rider, if I was Ken Roczen, if I was Eli Tomac, Barcia, if I was any of these guys, I'd be a bit nervous. Now that we're pretty much halfway done with the series, technically we're less than halfway, but once we're done with Daytona, we'll be more than halfway. Either way, we're pretty much halfway done with the series, and I'd say it's down to a 2-horse race. It is now Roczen and Webb. Tomac looks like 31 points down. Barcia is 44 points down. Barcia is out of it because of the points deficit that he's in. I'd say that he has the hunger to still fight for this championship, still fight for race wins. But with some bad luck, unfortunately, I would say that he's out of it. And Tomac being 31 points down, he could still be in it. But to me, I'd say he's out of it because he's just not showing that fire, that hunger that he's shown previously, in previous years. He became a father last year, and that affects athletes differently. For some, it can be an extra motivator. For others, it'll kind of put their sport a bit more onto the back burner. And I feel like maybe that's what's happening with Eli. In outdoors last year, 2020, he didn't really look like the normal Eli that just dominates outdoors. And so far, he's won 1 round, but there's been a lot of lackluster rounds this year where he just didn't look like himself. And I think a lot of that is because he's now a father, and a lot of it also could be that he's accomplished pretty much everything there is to accomplish in this sport. Yeah, I think he's tied for 4th in outdoor wins with Bob Hanna, with only Carmichael, Stewart, and Dungey in front of him. I think he's in 6th with Supercross wins. He has multiple outdoor championships. He's got his Supercross championship now. Pretty much the only thing he never got was a win in the Donations as a team. And I guess he's never won anything in the GPs either. But when it comes to American motocross, he's accomplished everything there is to accomplish. And now that he's a father, the fire might not be there anymore. And that's what it seems to me to be like. And that's why I'd say he's pretty much out of it. And now it's a 2-horse race. It is Webb and Roczen. And like I said earlier, Webb now has confidence. He's won 2 rounds. He's only done that once before. I guess technically twice before, but it was in the same season, 2019. Like I said, he ended up winning that championship. And now he's won 2 rounds in a row this year. And that confidence is building. That ball is rolling. He didn't have the best start to the season. He got a 9th place opening round and a 4th place second round, but then he won the 3rd round, and it's just been steadily getting better. And when Webb gets that ball rolling, it's hard to stop. And the only person I think that can stop it is Roczen. Roczen is leading right now, but it is only 6 points. They're both the only 2 riders that have won 3 rounds so far this year. Roczen won his in a row, and I feel when it just comes to straight speed, Roczen is the fastest guy out there. Not only that, but he's also taken a page out of Dungey's book, and he's being Mr. Consistent, where he's getting insanely good starts, and even when he gets a bad start, he's able to charge his way to the front and almost get podiums even if he gets like a last place start. Last week, Orlando 2, I really do feel like he could have gotten a podium if he maybe would have pushed the envelope just a little bit harder on some of those passes. That track was very, very difficult to pass on. It was just a tricky track in general. So even just getting up to 4th place was big for Ken. But Roczen has kind of 2 kryptonites. One is Webb himself. Roczen has been passed by Webb on the last lap more than a lot of people have been passed on the last lap by one specific rider. I did go back and look. So in 2019, round 3, Webb passed Roczen on the last lap of the first Triple Crown race. And then at round 7, he passed Roczen in the last corner for the closest finish of all time in Supercross. And then round 5, 2020, Webb passed Roczen for second on the last lap. This year, round 3, Houston, with the Wilson incident, Webb passed Roczen on the last lap for the win. That's quite a few times that Roczen has been passed on the last lap by one specific rider, that rider being Webb. And their rivalry, I think, started in 2018 when Roczen took both of them out and got his hands sucked into the wheel or whatever, broke his wrist. Webb was still on a Yamaha at that time. But I feel like that's maybe when the animosity between them started. But Webb is, I think, Roczen's kryptonite. You can even see when Roczen wins and Webb is in second and you get down closer to the last laps of the race, Roczen starts to falter a little bit, starts making mistakes that he wasn't making earlier in the main, and lets Webb get pretty close to him. Even if he still wins, it's still like in the back of his mind, he knows that Webb's there. He gets a little nervous. But the other kryptonite for Roczen is just his health. We saw it last year. In my mind, I think that it's just all the trauma that he's went through with his body, that his body just kind of, it maybe attacks itself. I mean, who gets shingles? That's weird, is it not? So if Roczen can keep his health good, which I think he can, he didn't do outdoors this year, and I would hope that during that time off that he was really trying to figure out what's going on with his body, and I would guess that he figured it out. And so he should be good for the rest of the season. But that's a big factor for the rest of the season, is if he can stay healthy or not. I have a feeling that this championship is going to go down to the last round, and it's going to be a super, super close finish. The closest finish we've had in recent memory is 2017, Dungey and Tomac. They ended with only 5 points different. They went into Vegas with 9 points between them. I feel like this might be even closer than that. I'm excited to see Webb and Roczen are super gnarly dudes, and I think this is a rivalry that we've needed. We haven't had really a rivalry like this in a while. Two top dudes battling for a championship, and I hope they can do this in outdoors as well. But in Supercross, yeah, we've needed this rivalry, and I'm excited. I like it. I hope you guys like it too. It sucks that there's no race this weekend. Daytona is next weekend. We've been a bit spoiled so far this season with having Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday rounds, and now we have a weekend off, and it's rough. It's a rough one.